We're talking about resolutions. I talked about health resolutions, people making them and breaking them. So, did any of you make health resolutions?
I did have a personal health resolution. I guess with the busyness of life, sometimes, I tell my patients to exercise, and sometimes I don't do it myself. So my goal would be to make sure that I exercise at least 4 to 5 times a week, or take 10,000 steps per day, which we'll see if I can keep it.
Okay. Edith, what about you?
For me, it's a similar resolution, actually, and it's the same resolution I've had for the last, I want to say, 3 years, and I'm still working on it, and that is to be physically active. And my plan essentially is to build on what I've done instead of adding new resolutions, trying to do better.
Beulah.
Well, for myself, I like to travel, so for my mental health, I'll be traveling more this year. Yes, I'll start by traveling to Washington for the inauguration.
Oh,
yeah.
terrific. Now, there's supposed to be lots of people there, so might that be stressful?
Well, I'm trying to think that it won't be stressful. It's going to be fun for me.
Louisa.
Well, I also have had about a 3-year resolution to exercise more, so that's definitely the top of my list. But I also am going to manage my budget better. That's my plan this year. I'm not going to increase my debt. I'm actually going to reduce my debt. So that's my plan for this year.
So why do you think, I notice some of you here have resolutions of things you're planning to do. And I mentioned at the start that resolutions are soon broken. So we all start out with the best intentions. And what do you think happens?
I think sometimes we lose sight of our own goals, and we sometimes put ourselves to the side, and because we're healthcare professionals, we put ourselves to the side and focus more on other people than ourselves.
I also think that sometimes in December, when we're all very optimistic about coming up with resolutions, that we come up with very lofty resolutions. So instead of just having maybe a general goal of trying something to be healthier, we say things like, well, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in the first 6 months. So they end up being not realistic. And so what I've found has worked for me is starting small and building on that. And so I think that in order to have realistic New Year's resolutions, people have to really think about realistically what they can achieve and work towards it, rather than coming up with the most
the hardest
resolutions to work on, and think that in the first week of January they can achieve that goal. And that's why by the end of January, many of us forget what our resolutions are, because we weren't able to take small steps to be able to build on.
Any more added thoughts?
Oh, were you going to say something? Go ahead.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No, the other thing I was going to say, similar to that, is I've learned the things that I can actually accomplish when I make a resolution is not planned, again, for the whole year, but to think that every day is a new day, and every day I can make the resolution. So it's not about New Year's, it's every day is a new day, and to make that resolution every morning, but that I have an opportunity, even if I don't walk in the morning, I have an opportunity at noon, and I have an opportunity at night. And so I have many opportunities, and I just need to make a resolution to do it the next chance that I have.
Now, how do you walk an additional 10,000 steps?
Actually, if you use a pedometer and if you just do your regular exercise, at the end of the day, if you not exercise your regular routine steps that you take about 4,000 or so. But you would really have to do a cardiac workout, which would be either in a treadmill, or you have to constantly think about how else you can put that extra steps. Instead of phoning a colleague, get up and walk to the person, or park your car at the end of the parking lot rather than at the nearest spot. So you can be creative.
Well, it all sounds like work.